25 Most Commonly Forgotten Wedding Details. Hi everyone and welcome to this YouTube channel. Number 1. Ice. On the off chance that you are assembling a do-it-yourself bar, or on the other hand in the event that your barkeeps don't give it to you or your scene doesn't give it to you, you will require a lot of ice. Time for ice would be 1 pound for every individual, and afterward, you might have to build that to 1.5 pounds on the off chance that you're having outside summer occasion in light of the fact that clearly ice much quicker. Number 2. How to clamor your dress. A clamoring video. How's the player? This is the kind of thing that I attempt to make sure to ask my clients, for the clamoring consumes a large chunk of the day too, regardless of whether you have your house cleaner of honor or your mother or another person present at the last dress fitting, and they figure out how to do it. Having a video in the end is very useful on the off chance that we can't track down your honorable servant or your mother, or they fail to remember how to make it happen. Number 3. Feed yourself. Food. Feed yourself please. As systems administration as your important day will be it, you really want to take care of yourself. One of the last things you maintain that should do is drop the special raised area. Similar to that is not a charming search for anyone lying on the floor when you should get pitched. Furthermore, inside that, ensure your wedding party has sufficient food too. You can relegate that undertaking to your mother to a subterranean insect, ensure new food appears nearby, and ensure you really eat it. You'll be extremely bustling over the course of the day, you'll be on your feet for a greater part of it, and you're prompt each and every calorie. Number 4. Bring pads for your footsies. Number 5. Remember your survival kit. Survival kit. And many individuals are very great at assembling this, yet you really do have to plunk down and concocted every one of the things that you want. Cosmetics for final details, self-locking pins. I won't even persistent things off. I truly did a what's in my sack video as of late with all the stuff in my survival pack, and suggested a couple for you en route. I'll give a valiant effort to connect that in the depiction box underneath. In some cases, I neglect. However, it's not only up on my channel, and feel free to find it. Have a survival kit, get ready for your big day, and relegate somebody to be responsible for it so they know where it is consistently. Number 6. A short-term pack. A short-term pack. This might sound sort of senseless, yet I failed to remember my short-term sack. Try not to do that. Furthermore, ensure it gets to the inn, ensure it's in your escape vehicle or currently in your lodging, so you don't need to stress over snatching that before you do your award compliment. Number 7. Money and ID cards. I as of late heard a story where a couple was not permitted to go into their special first night suite in light of the fact that the husband-to-be didn't have his ID on him. So they are dismissed at like 2 a.m. or whatever, and they couldn't go to the lodging since he didn't have his distinguishing proof on him. I can comprehend the inn's point of view. They can't simply give anyone access to a room. Have your ID prepared in the event, since no one can really tell where the night could lead, and no one can tell when you want to occur on you. Number 8. Seller tips. In the event that you're doing tips, I energetically suggest that you have the envelopes with the name of the organization on the facade of the envelope, and give that to an assigned individual to pass them out for you. Have that arrangement out early so you're not scrambling last moment attempting to track down the entirety of the cash or get all of the money short term. Water. Hydrate yourself. Begin hydrating a couple of days in advance. Truth be told, couple was not permitted to go into their special first night suite in light of the fact that the husband-to-be didn't have his ID on him. So they are dismissed at like 2 a.m. or whatever, and they couldn't go to the lodging since he didn't have his distinguishing proof on him. I can comprehend the inn's point of view. They can't simply give anyone access to a room. Have your ID prepared in the event, since no one can really tell where the night could lead, and no one can tell when you want to occur on you. Number 8. Seller tips. In the event that you're doing tips, I energetically suggest that you have the envelopes with the name of the organization on the facade of the envelope, and give that to an assigned individual to pass them out for you. Have that arrangement out early so you're not scrambling last moment attempting to track down the entirety of the cash or get all of the money short term. Water. Hydrate yourself. Begin hydrating a couple of days in advance. Truth be told, it assists your skin with being more clear and more invigorated, and you will actually want to deal with the long-distance race that is your brilliant wedding day. Sure, in the event that you're wearing a major elaborate dress, it might make it somewhat harder to go to the restroom. However, you prefer be hydrated and go washroom constantly, then at that point, drop in light of the fact that once more, face anticipating the ground not charming and imagine. Number 9. Transportation. Such countless individuals fail to remember transportation, and that is not when you leave the gathering in some kind of award vehicle. That is from the preparing area to the service area, from the function area to the gathering, and from the gathering to any place you're leaving until the end of the evening. And it's not simply you that necessitates to sort that out. It's your whole marriage party, Whether we have Uber and Lyft, those can be approached somewhat late in the event you do neglect, yet I in all actuality do suggest that you have some kind of transportation timetable or vehicle worked out to you. You can crowd on over to the service and your house cleaner of respect's vehicle that is completely fine. Simply ensure you thoroughly consider those subtleties in advance, so you're not abandoned in your wedding dress. Idiotic, yet we completely failed to remember a cake blade and a cake server. We needed to cut our cake with a plastic spread blade. Furthermore, it was not extremely simple, it was entertaining. It was an extraordinary second, however, it was hard. It was only not quite so extravagant as utilizing the cake mate and the server, so assuming you need those things, ensure they are gotten together and all set to the scene, and that your facilitator or organizer knows where they are so they can set them out and be prepared for cake cutting time. Hashtag 19 guestbook. Guestbook, subsequently, I don't have any idea why yet. Service book closes get failed to remember constantly. That is the reason I convey spare ones in my survival kit. Assuming that you need an exceptional pen, in the event that you really want something that composes on a particular sort of paper or globe or piece of wood, you really want to have pens for that and a lot of them. Number 20, do-it-yourself agenda. A rundown of individual or do-it-yourself things and where they go. In the event that you are bringing table numbers, escort cards, any kind of signage you've made yourself or somebody has made for you yet you're responsible for bringing to the wedding. There should be a rundown of those things. As an organizer, I will go through those things and ensure they are put precisely where you've requested that I place them. Furthermore, I will likewise involve that rundown as our destroy sheet to ensure that we accumulate those things and probably put them in the very vehicle that the gifts are returning home, and talking about taking things a short time later. Number 21, teardown group. A destroy team. This is one of the most ignored things for your big day. Read over your agreements cautiously. Ensure you have somebody to bust the tables, to get rubbish, to assemble each of your assets, to bring down any street lamps that you've hung up, to eliminate florals from arbors in the event that the scene requires it, and don't do the heavenly messenger exemplary. Well, individuals are there. I'm certain they'll assist on the grounds that occasionally they don't. At times I do, however, once in a while they don't. Ensure you have a teardown team and ensure they realize that they're making it happen. Don't simply tell your facilitator like, definitely individuals don't know, don't do it, don't make it happen, and not let them know that they're getting it done. Number 22, eyelash paste. I for one found this out as of late, yet eyelash stick is water dissolvable, so in the event that you begin crying and those little bug legs get popping going your eyeball, you will look truly weird. You might actually lose your lashes. Also, assuming that is a significant piece of your wedding look, you will need to ensure that they stay there, so have an eyelash stick on you or attempt to go for additional like the singular lashes, so on the off chance that you lose a couple of it doesn't influence your general look. Hashtag 23 greeting suite for photographs. Assuming you maintain that your solicitations should be a piece of your wedding photography, you really want to clearly ensure that you bring that, and that incorporates every one of the components and envelope with a phony name and a phony location on it. Don't mean calligraphy is wonderful greeting RSVP card. Number 24, assign a go-to person. This is where organizer proves to be useful. This is where you must have a facilitator or a go-to person, so nobody's coming dependent upon you and posing inquiries. When you're in your most memorable dance, not that anyone would do that, yet you know to me assign somebody that has all of the contact data for every one of your sellers, knows your day of timetable, and knows where all of your stuff is. That is your go-to person. They ought to deal with all of the confusion in the background, so you can partake in your big day. Folks, you know how I feel about this. That is where you really want a facilitator. You can't manage the cost of one, you actually need to assign somebody to be accountable for those things. And number 25, interruption. Inhale, notice, and rehash. This is your big day. This is the first day of the season that you will have like this day, so pause for a minute at the rear of the passageway before you stroll down. Take a gander at every one of the visitors there during supper. Quit eating for only a second, despite the fact that you must eat, and glance around by any stretch of the imagination of the brilliant, cherishing individuals that have encircled you. Make sure to find opportunity to recall. Wow, that got genuine, profound towards the end there, people. That is all we have for now, people. I truly want to believe that you found this was useful. I trust it assists you with recollecting to not neglect, and in the event that you haven't bought in as of now, hurry on down there, hit the buy-in button, tap the chime and get warnings each time I transfer a video. As usual, a gigantic whoop to my lady buddies over at Wedding Chicks for facilitating this video, and until the following week, bye folks.